Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Friday, July 31st. This is Gina McGuire. Today we'll see lightning spread a little bit further north over the southern half of the Great Basin. These thunderstorms may be a hybrid of wet and dry initially. However, moisture will be increasing fairly quickly in transition to wet, slow-moving storms. There is a flash flood watch out over southern Nevada for today. Thunderstorms will spread further north over the weekend across the area, and this lightning may pose a slight increase in fire potential over parts of the west central Idaho mountains on Sunday. Yesterday we did see widely scattered thunderstorms over parts of southern and southwest Nevada into the Sierra, and these thunderstorms did produce some rainfall. Over the last 7 days, we've seen very dry conditions over much of Utah into southern Nevada, with the exception of the rainfall yesterday, and into western Nevada. As lightning returns to these areas initially this week into this weekend, we will see an increase in initial attack. However, moisture will be quickly increasing by day 2 and day 3 of the lightning. Yesterday, there was light initial attack across the Great Basin. However, not depicted on this map is the Boulder Fire over northeast Nevada, which was last reported at 2,200 acres. The water vapor satellite image from this morning shows this broad area of high pressure over much of the west. This will account for our increasing temperatures and dry conditions over the northern portion of the Great Basin. However, the southerly flow in between the high pressure and the low off the coast will allow plenty of deeper moisture to move over the southern half of Nevada and Utah today and the Sierra, with this moisture spreading further north as we move through the weekend. Generally, low to moderate fire potential is expected across the Great Basin, both due to the drying and due to the increase in lightning as we move through this weekend. Today, temperatures will generally remain near to above normal, with highs reaching near 100 degrees over parts of northern Nevada and southern Idaho in the valleys. You can also see the depiction of the lightning and showers as we move into today, spreading further north, with thunderstorms on the northern fringe being a mix of wet and dry and deeper moisture over southern Nevada and the Arizona Strip. As we move into Saturday and Sunday, this moisture spreads further north into northwest Nevada, with showers and thunderstorms generally being on the wetter side, with the exception of the northern areas, which may see a mix of wet and dry storms initially. Temperatures will remain near or just above average on Saturday as this moisture spreads near the Oregon border. By Sunday, we'll see widespread showers and thunderstorms over much of Nevada and the southern two-thirds of Utah, and these thunderstorms will be wet except for the northern fringe. However, over the west central Idaho mountains on Sunday, isolated thunderstorms may develop, which will be ahead of the deeper moisture, and this may increase fire potential briefly on Sunday. Again, these thunderstorms will overspread much of Nevada and Utah, with generally southeast Idaho and Wyoming seeing less lightning activity. Temperatures will also be decreasing over parts of the southern half of the Great Basin as moisture increases. As we move into early next week, moisture spreads north across Idaho, Wyoming, and Utah, with drier air moving into southern and western Nevada. However, still fire potential will remain relatively low due to the increasing moisture. By Tuesday and Wednesday, an area of low pressure starts to drop south along the Pacific Northwest coast, and this may allow for an initial return of thunderstorms to parts of northwest Nevada and western Idaho. However, by Wednesday, drier air starts to push into much of Nevada and Utah, along with an increase in winds as this area of low pressure approaches. This may return fire potential to low to moderate across the Great Basin. By Thursday, we see the dry air remain across Nevada. However, moisture starts returning to Utah as the southwest flow brings deeper moisture from the southwest. Overall, forecast amounts of precipitation will generally be localized to the southern half of the Great Basin today, where some areas will see above a half inch of rainfall. However, over the next 7 days, as moisture overspreads the Great Basin, most areas will at least see a quarter of an inch of rainfall or higher due to the increase in showers and thunderstorms. Now looking at the fire danger indices, ERCs continue to climb to above normal over much of southern Nevada and into Utah due to the recent dry weather, but still remain below normal over parts of western and northern Nevada. However, will be increasing with the drier air at least for the next day or so. Live fuel moisture continues to decrease across the Great Basin despite the increase in moisture. Over the 8 to 14-day period, we'll likely see below normal precipitation across the Great Basin, however also near to just below normal temperatures, as a trough may remain over the west coast and allow for drier and breezy flow across Nevada and Idaho. This concludes this briefing for this morning. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you for listening.